In this journey of life, we walk through valleys and climb mountains. We face storms and bask in the sunlight of joyous days. But amid all these experiences, there are lessons that remain timeless, truths that guide us in every season of life. One such truth is the importance of guarding what is sacred within us. Not everything that is known to our hearts should be shared with the world. There are parts of our souls that must remain hidden, protected from prying eyes and judgmental whispers. In a world that encourages oversharing, it takes wisdom to know when to speak and when to remain silent. We live in an age where privacy is a forgotten virtue. People broadcast their lives to the world, seeking validation and approval from strangers. Yet in this rush to share, they expose themselves to envy, ridicule, and misunderstanding. Not all who listen care for your well-being. Not all who see your journey rejoice in your progress. Sometimes the silence of discretion is more powerful than the loudness of speech. The sacredness of your innermost thoughts, dreams, and struggles must be preserved, because once they are exposed, they become vulnerable to interpretation and judgment. There are battles we fight within, struggles known only to us and our Creator. Sharing these battles prematurely or with the wrong people can lead to unnecessary hurt. Not everyone is equipped to understand the depth of your journey. Not everyone can handle the weight of your burdens. By exposing your struggles to those who cannot empathize, you risk facing ridicule and discouragement. There is a time and place for everything, including the revelation of your hardships. Sometimes the victory speaks louder when the battle remains between you and the one who gives you strength. When you overcome quietly, your triumph becomes a testament of grace and resilience. Dreams are delicate. They are fragile aspirations born in the depths of our souls. When we share our dreams with others, we invite their opinions, doubts, and fears. Not everyone will understand your vision, for it was given to you and not to them. Sometimes sharing your dreams with those who lack the faith to believe can cripple your motivation. Words are powerful. They can build up or tear down. When someone speaks doubt into your dreams, it plants seeds of hesitation and fear. Protect your dreams by nurturing them in silence until they are strong enough to withstand criticism. Let your actions speak louder than your words. When your dreams come to fruition, they will be evident to all. In life, we encounter betrayals and heartbreaks. We experience pain that words cannot fully express. But not every wound should be displayed for the world to see. There is strength in silence, healing in solitude. When we share our hurts with everyone, we give others the power to define our narrative. Some may sympathize, but others may use our pain against us. Not every listening ear is a caring heart. Guard your emotional wounds and allow them to heal in a safe space, surrounded by those who genuinely care for your well-being. In time, your scars will testify to your survival. But until then, protect your healing process. We all have moments of generosity, acts of kindness that come from a place of genuine love. But when we broadcast our good deeds, we risk turning them into mere performances. True generosity seeks no applause, no recognition. It is an expression of love that needs no validation. When we give and keep it between ourselves and the one who sees all, we honor the purity of the act. If we seek approval from people, we lose the deeper reward that comes from giving selflessly. Let your left hand not know what your right hand is doing. Let your kindness speak through the lives it touches, not through the praises of people. In this world, we must be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Discretion is a shield that guards our hearts from unnecessary pain and protects the sanctity of our journey. Not everything that is felt must be spoken. Not everything that is known must be shared. The wisdom of silence is a treasure, and the power of discretion is a strength. Let us learn to speak with purpose and remain silent with dignity. There is beauty in mystery. There is strength in privacy. When you guard what is sacred, you walk with confidence, unshaken by the opinions of others. You find peace in knowing that not all of you is open for public scrutiny. In that sacred place of privacy, you commune with your Creator, who sees your struggles, knows your dreams, and heals your wounds. In that place, you find the strength to rise above judgment, to pursue your dreams fearlessly, and to live authentically. May we learn to guard our hearts with wisdom. May we protect our dreams with courage. May we heal our wounds in silence and give with humility. In doing so, we honor the sacredness of our journey and walk in the dignity of wisdom. Let us speak when it brings life and remain silent when it preserves peace. In this balance, we find the strength to navigate this world with grace and purpose. Words have power. They can heal or hurt, build or break, inspire or discourage. Every word we speak carries an energy that shapes the atmosphere around us. Yet in a world where voices are loud and opinions are freely shared, the wisdom to discern when to speak and when to remain silent has become rare. Knowing when to use words as instruments of life and when to withhold them to maintain peace is a skill that requires deep understanding and maturity. Not every thought needs to be voiced, and not every emotion demands expression. In moments of anger or frustration, the urge to speak is often the strongest. Words rise to the surface, fueled by emotion, ready to burst forth. Yet these are the moments when silence is most powerful. Words spoken in anger can leave scars that no apology can fully heal. They can shatter relationships, break trust, and create wounds that linger long after the moment has passed. In the heat of the moment, silence becomes an act of restraint, a shield against regret. By choosing not to speak, you protect not only others from harsh words, but also yourself from guilt and shame. Silence in anger is not weakness. It is strength under control. There are times when speaking up is necessary, but the intention behind the words matters. If the words you speak are meant to uplift, inspire, or bring clarity, then they become instruments of life. But if they are meant to hurt, humiliate, or prove superiority, they become weapons of destruction. The motivation behind your words defines their impact. Before speaking, pause and reflect on the intention. Are you speaking to bring light or to cast a shadow? Are you communicating to connect or to control? This introspection can transform your words into vessels of grace and wisdom. In moments of conflict, the instinct is to defend, to justify, and to prove a point. Yet, not every argument is worth engaging in. Not every confrontation deserves a response. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. It communicates dignity and wisdom. It shows that you are not swayed by provocation or dragged into unnecessary disputes. By choosing silence, you refuse to participate in negativity, preserving your peace and integrity. It is not about being passive, but about choosing which battles are worth fighting. Sometimes silence is the most powerful response to criticism, gossip, or slander. It allows false accusations to fade away on their own. Silence is also a space for reflection. In conversations filled with noise, meaning is often lost. But in moments of silence, understanding is found. When you listen more than you speak, you hear not only words, but emotions, intentions, and unspoken truths. You understand not just the message, but the heart behind it. This deep listening builds empathy, bridges differences, and fosters genuine connection. By staying silent, you give others the gift of being heard, of feeling valued and respected. In a world that speaks too much, listening becomes a rare and precious act of love. Words are powerful, but they are also irreversible. Once spoken, they cannot be taken back. In moments of misunderstanding or miscommunication, silence allows space for clarity to emerge. By refraining from reacting impulsively, you avoid escalating conflicts. You give yourself time to process emotions and gain perspective. This pause prevents misunderstandings from turning into arguments and disagreements from becoming resentments. In silence, you find the wisdom to respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. Not every truth needs to be spoken aloud. There are moments when silence protects relationships and preserves peace. Brutal honesty is not always necessary. If the truth serves no purpose other than to hurt or humiliate, it is better left unsaid. Discernment is key to knowing which truths build and which truths break. In such moments, silence becomes an act of compassion, a way to shield others from unnecessary pain. It is not about hiding the truth, but about delivering it with love and sensitivity. Silence can also be an act of humility. There are moments when you have the knowledge, the right answer, or the perfect comeback, but choosing not to speak demonstrates grace and maturity. It shows that you do not need validation or recognition. It shows confidence that does not rely on proving a point. By remaining silent, you let go of the need to be right and embrace the wisdom of letting things be. This humility is not weakness, but strength in restraint. In moments of uncertainty, silence provides space for discernment. It allows you to wait for the right words at the right time. Sometimes the most powerful statements are made by saying nothing at all. In silence, you align your words with your purpose, ensuring that when you do speak, your words carry weight and meaning. By waiting, you prevent confusion and misinterpretation. You speak with clarity and conviction because your words have been shaped by thoughtful reflection. In a world filled with noise, silence is a rare and powerful presence. It brings calmness to chaos, wisdom to confusion, and peace to conflict. It protects what is sacred and shields what is vulnerable. It guards against impulsive reactions and preserves the dignity of restraint. When words are used sparingly and with purpose, they become treasures of wisdom and grace. And when silence is chosen to keep peace, it becomes an act of love and humility. Discretion is a shield that guards you from unnecessary pain. In a world that thrives on oversharing and public displays of emotion, the value of discretion has become increasingly rare. Yet it is one of the most powerful tools for preserving peace, dignity, and emotional well-being. Not everything is meant to be shared. Not every thought needs to be voiced. Not every emotion requires validation from the outside world. By practicing discretion, you protect yourself from misunderstandings, misjudgments, and unnecessary conflicts. It is not about secrecy or deception, but about knowing what to share, when to share it, and with whom. Discretion begins with self-awareness. It requires an understanding of your own emotions, desires, and motivations. When you are in touch with yourself, you become less reliant on external validation. You do not feel the need to broadcast your every thought or feeling. This self-awareness helps you distinguish between what is truly important and what is merely a fleeting emotion. It enables you to filter your words and actions, choosing only what serves a purpose and leaves a positive impact. By being selective about what you share, you maintain control over your own narrative and protect yourself from unnecessary scrutiny. Not everyone deserves to know your struggles or your triumphs. Not every listener is a trusted confidant. By sharing your innermost thoughts and feelings with the wrong person, you open yourself up to judgment, criticism, and betrayal. People interpret things through their own perspectives, biases, and insecurities. What you see as vulnerability, they might see as weakness. What you share in confidence, they might share as gossip. Discretion protects you from the consequences of misplaced trust. It allows you to guard your heart and mind from those who do not have your best interests at heart. Emotional pain often stems from unmet expectations. When you share too much, you unconsciously expect understanding, empathy, or validation. But not everyone is capable of offering that. By being discreet, you free yourself from these expectations. You learn to process your emotions internally without relying on others to make you feel better. This emotional independence builds resilience and strength. It teaches you to be your own source of comfort and encouragement. In this way, discretion shields you from the disappointment and pain that come from expecting too much from others. Discretion is also an act of self-respect. It is about valuing your own experiences, emotions, and thoughts enough to keep them sacred. Not everything needs to be put on display for public consumption. By keeping certain aspects of your life private, you honor your own journey and protect its authenticity. You avoid diluting your experiences by seeking external validation. You maintain control over your story, sharing only what you choose to share and on your own terms. This self-respect creates boundaries that protect your emotional well-being and preserve your dignity. In relationships, discretion is essential for maintaining trust and harmony. It is about knowing which words build and which words break. Not every thought needs to be spoken, and not every truth needs to be told. If sharing something will only hurt the other person without any constructive purpose, then it is better left unsaid. Discretion is not about dishonesty, but about sensitivity and compassion. It is about protecting the relationship from unnecessary pain and conflict. By practicing discretion, you create a safe space where trust can grow and misunderstandings can be avoided. Discretion also protects you from the dangers of comparison and envy. When you share too much about your successes, achievements, or happiness, you unintentionally invite comparison. Others may measure their own lives against yours and feel inadequate or envious. This can lead to resentment, jealousy, and even sabotage. By being discreet about your successes, you protect yourself from the negative energy of envy. You also avoid the pressure of living up to an image that you have created for yourself. Discretion allows you to enjoy your achievements without the burden of outside expectations. In moments of conflict, discretion is a powerful tool for de-escalation. Not every argument deserves a response, and not every accusation needs to be defended. By choosing silence over retaliation, you protect your peace and dignity. You refuse to engage in unnecessary battles and avoid saying things that you might later regret. Discretion allows you to rise above pettiness and maintain your composure. It shows strength, maturity, and self-control. By not reacting impulsively, you prevent conflicts from escalating and protect your relationships from unnecessary damage. Discretion also protects your dreams and goals. When you share your ambitions with the wrong people, you invite doubt, criticism, and negativity. Not everyone will understand your vision or support your journey. Some may even try to discourage you out of jealousy or fear. By keeping your dreams to yourself, you protect them from being tainted by the insecurities and limitations of others. You preserve your motivation and focus, allowing your dreams to grow in a safe space. Discretion guards your aspirations from negativity and ensures that you remain true to your purpose. In a world where oversharing is celebrated, discretion is a mark of wisdom and strength. It shows that you are not driven by the need for attention or validation. It shows that you are secure enough in yourself to keep certain aspects of your life private. Discretion protects you from the emotional exhaustion that comes from constantly seeking approval. It frees you from the pressure of maintaining an image or narrative. It allows you to live authentically without the burden of public opinion. Discretion also protects your peace of mind. When you share too much, you open yourself up to opinions, judgments, and unsolicited advice. This can create confusion, self-doubt, and emotional turmoil. By being discreet, you protect your mental and emotional space from unnecessary noise. You avoid being influenced by the opinions of others and stay true to your own beliefs and values. This mental clarity allows you to make decisions with confidence and live in alignment with your purpose. Practicing discretion requires discipline and emotional intelligence. It involves knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. It means understanding the power of words and using them wisely. Discretion is not about suppressing your emotions or hiding your true self. It is about choosing what to share and with whom in a way that protects your dignity and preserves your peace. It is about maintaining boundaries that safeguard your emotional well-being. Discretion is a form of self-preservation. It guards your heart from being wounded, your mind from being cluttered, and your spirit from being weighed down. It protects you from the consequences of impulsive actions and words spoken in haste. It shields you from the emotional pain that comes from misplaced trust, unmet expectations, and unnecessary conflicts. By practicing discretion, you protect your peace, your dignity, and your emotional well-being. Privacy guards your peace and dignity. In a world where personal details are broadcasted without hesitation, the value of privacy has been overshadowed by the allure of attention and approval. Yet privacy is not about secrecy, it is about safeguarding one's inner sanctuary, maintaining control over one's narrative, and preserving one's dignity. When you choose to keep parts of your life private, you are not hiding but protecting your peace from unnecessary noise and judgments. Privacy grants you the freedom to live authentically, to process your experiences without external interference, and to maintain a sense of respect and integrity. In a society that celebrates oversharing, maintaining privacy is a powerful act of self-respect. It allows you to protect your thoughts, emotions, and experiences from scrutiny. When you share too much, you expose yourself to opinions, criticisms, and judgments that can disturb your peace. Not everyone who listens to your story listens with empathy. Some are curious, some are envious, and others are malicious. By keeping certain things private, you safeguard your emotional well-being from these negative influences. You maintain a tranquil space where you can reflect, grow, and make decisions without pressure or interference. Privacy also preserves your dignity by protecting your vulnerabilities. When you reveal too much about your struggles, fears, or failures, you risk exposing yourself to ridicule, gossip, or manipulation. Not everyone who asks about your life does so with good intention. Some seek to exploit your weaknesses or use your story against you. By maintaining your privacy, you guard your dignity from those who may seek to harm you. You control the narrative of your life, choosing what to share and what to keep to yourself. This control preserves your self-respect and integrity, as you are not forced to reveal your most intimate truths to an audience that may not deserve them. Privacy also protects your peace by allowing you to live authentically without the need for external validation. In a world where social acceptance is often measured by likes, comments, and followers, it is easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval. When you share too much, you become vulnerable to the court of public opinion, where your worth is judged by how well you fit societal expectations. By guarding your privacy, you break free from this cycle. You live for yourself, not for the applause or validation of others. This independence preserves your peace because your self-worth remains intact, unaffected by the shifting opinions of the crowd. Moreover, privacy allows you to process your experiences on your own terms. Not every event in your life needs to be shared the moment it happens. Some experiences require time, reflection, and healing before they are ready to be shared, if ever. By keeping them private, you give yourself the space to understand and learn from them without the burden of public scrutiny. This patience protects your emotional well-being and preserves your dignity, as you are not compelled to explain or justify your feelings to others. You maintain the freedom to experience life fully without the pressure of performing for an audience. In relationships, privacy fosters respect and trust. When you maintain boundaries about your personal matters, you protect your loved ones from gossip, judgment, and unnecessary conflict. Not every aspect of your relationships needs to be public knowledge. By keeping certain things private, you preserve the sacredness of your connections, ensuring that special moments are shared only with those who matter most. This discretion guards your dignity by preventing misunderstandings and protecting the reputation of those you care about. It also maintains peace by keeping your personal life free from outside interference. Privacy also protects your dignity by allowing you to preserve your boundaries. It sends a clear message that while you may share parts of yourself, not everything is open for public consumption. These boundaries teach others to respect your space and your choices. When you openly share every aspect of your life, you risk losing these boundaries, as people may feel entitled to comment on, question, or even interfere with your decisions. Maintaining your privacy reinforces your autonomy and preserves your dignity by reminding others that your life is yours to live as you see fit. In the professional world, privacy guards your dignity by protecting your reputation and credibility. Not every mistake, failure, or challenge needs to be public knowledge. By maintaining discretion, you protect your professional image and avoid unnecessary criticism. Privacy also allows you to strategize and plan your next moves without interference or sabotage from competitors. It preserves your peace by giving you the space to grow and succeed without the pressure of public expectations. You maintain control over your career narrative, choosing when and how to share your achievements and setbacks. Furthermore, privacy gives you the freedom to be imperfect. When everything about you is public, you feel pressured to live up to unrealistic standards. You fear making mistakes or showing vulnerability because you are constantly under observation. This pressure can lead to anxiety, stress, and a loss of authenticity. However, when you maintain your privacy, you allow yourself the grace to be human. You give yourself permission to learn, to fail, and to grow without the fear of judgment. This acceptance of your humanity preserves your dignity and brings you inner peace. Privacy is a form of self-care. It is an act of self-love and respect that acknowledges your worth and protects your dignity. When you maintain your privacy, you create a safe space where you can be yourself without judgment, where you can nurture your dreams without interference, and where you can heal without exposure. This sacred space preserves your peace because it is untouched by the noise, chaos, and opinions of the outside world. It allows you to live authentically and with dignity, free from the pressures of public scrutiny. By guarding your privacy, you maintain your independence and sovereignty over your life. You decide what to share, when to share it, and with whom. This autonomy preserves your peace because you are not constantly seeking approval or validation from others. It also protects your dignity because you live on your own terms, staying true to your values and principles. Privacy empowers you to be the author of your story, ensuring that your narrative remains authentic, dignified, and at peace. Mystery preserves your authenticity. In a world where oversharing has become the norm, where every detail of life is displayed for public consumption, mystery stands as a rare and powerful virtue. To be mysterious is not about deception or secrecy. It is about maintaining a sense of individuality, preserving the essence of who you truly are. When you choose not to reveal every thought, every feeling, every aspect of your life, you guard your authenticity. You resist the pressure to conform to societal expectations or to mold yourself according to public opinion. Instead, you stay true to your own identity, unaltered by the noise and influence of the outside world. Mystery grants you the power of self-possession. When people know everything about you, they form opinions, judgments, and expectations that can shape the way you see yourself. But when you maintain an air of mystery, you keep a part of yourself reserved, untouched by others' perceptions. This preservation of self allows you to be authentic, to live according to your own beliefs and values, not those imposed upon you by society. You remain in control of your identity because you choose what to reveal and what to keep sacred. This control preserves your authenticity because you are not defined by others' interpretations of who you are. Moreover, mystery protects your uniqueness. In a world obsessed with trends, where people are quick to imitate what is popular, maintaining an aura of mystery sets you apart. It prevents others from copying your every move, your every thought. When you keep certain aspects of your life private, you safeguard the parts of yourself that make you unique. You avoid being diluted or replicated because people can only guess at who you truly are. This preservation of your individuality reinforces your authenticity because you remain a one-of-a-kind, unrepeatable presence. You are not a product of public demand, but an authentic creation of your own making. Mystery also cultivates respect and intrigue. When you don't reveal everything about yourself, people are naturally drawn to you. They are curious, captivated by what they do not know. This intrigue commands respect because people realize they cannot easily categorize or define you. They must approach you with an open mind without preconceived notions. This respect reinforces your authenticity because you are not reduced to stereotypes or assumptions. You are allowed to exist as you are in all your complexity without the pressure to fit into a predefined mold. Mystery protects your authenticity by preserving your emotional and mental space. When you share too much, you invite opinions, criticisms, and judgments that can influence how you think and feel. You may find yourself adjusting your words or actions to avoid criticism or to gain approval. This constant adaptation erodes your authenticity because you become more concerned with pleasing others than with staying true to yourself. By maintaining mystery, you create a boundary that shields you from outside influences. You preserve the freedom to think, feel, and live according to your own truth, untouched by the expectations of others. Mystery allows you to grow and evolve without pressure. When people believe they know everything about you, they form fixed opinions about who you are and who you should be. This rigidity can be suffocating, preventing you from exploring new paths or changing your mind. But when you maintain mystery, you give yourself the space to grow without explanation. You can change, evolve, and reinvent yourself without the burden of public scrutiny. This freedom to grow protects your authenticity because you are not trapped by outdated labels or expectations. You remain true to who you are in the present moment, regardless of who you were in the past. Mystery enhances the power of your words and actions. When you speak or act sparingly, people pay more attention. They listen closely because they understand that not everything is revealed. This scarcity gives weight to your words and significance to your actions. Your influence grows because people value the little that they know, recognizing that there is more beneath the surface. This power preserves your authenticity because you are not forced to constantly perform or explain yourself. You remain genuine, choosing your moments carefully and allowing your silence to speak as profoundly as your words. Mystery protects your relationships by maintaining boundaries. Not every detail of your personal life needs to be public knowledge. By keeping some things private, you preserve the sacredness of your relationships. You avoid unnecessary gossip, judgment, or interference from outsiders who do not understand the complexities of your bonds. This discretion protects the authenticity of your connections because they are not tainted by external opinions or expectations. Your relationships are allowed to grow naturally, unpressured by societal standards or public validation. Mystery keeps you grounded in your own reality. When you share every aspect of your life, you risk becoming dependent on external validation. You may start living for likes, comments, and approval rather than for yourself. This dependency erodes your authenticity because your self-worth becomes tied to public perception. By maintaining mystery, you break free from this cycle. You live for yourself, guided by your own values and desires, rather than by the applause or criticism of the crowd. This independence preserves your authenticity because you remain true to your own vision, unaltered by popular opinion. Mystery nurtures creativity and imagination. When everything about you is known, people form fixed narratives about who you are. These narratives limit their perception of you, and even worse, they may limit your perception of yourself. But when you maintain an air of mystery, you leave room for interpretation and imagination. People are free to see you in different lights, to wonder about your thoughts and dreams. This ambiguity enhances your authenticity because you are not confined to a single identity. You are allowed to be complex, multifaceted, and ever-changing. Mystery empowers you to live authentically because it gives you the courage to be misunderstood. Not everyone needs to know your reasons, your motives, or your dreams. By maintaining mystery, you accept that some people may misinterpret